welcome back to Harbour Unboxed. Today I find myself at the TRYX booth and we will be checking out some interesting looking cases, some interesting looking coolers and some very impressive RGB fan software, which I never thought I would say, but yeah, we're going to get into all of that stuff right now. The Harbour Unboxed Computex coverage is brought to you by MSI, Thermal Grizzly, G-Skill and TRYX. Check out MSI's range of GeForce RTX 50 series graphics cards, powered by NVIDIA Ada GPU architecture with advanced ray tracing and DLSS, delivering elite airflow, thermal design, and stunning aesthetics for incredible gaming performance. Included is MSI's unique 7-blade Storm Force fans, which boost airflow and reduce noise. The Supreme and Vanguard models include vapor chamber cooling, while the Supreme Liquid features a 360mm radiator. All models provide advanced tuning and monitoring capabilities via the MSI Center and MSI Afterburner, so to learn more about MSI's RTX 50 series, please check the links in the video description. Also supporting our Computex trip this year is Thermal Grizzly and their Duranaut high-performance thermal paste, offering extreme long-term stability combined with outstanding thermal conductivity. It's not electrically conductive and won't harden over time, so for more information please check the links in the video description. Okay, we're going to start with a particular favourite of mine. It's one I think a lot of you will be familiar with, but for those of you who aren't that familiar with the TRYX brand, it is the Panorama AIO. So huge LCD screen on this one. It's a matte finish on the screen. We've started using this in some of our test systems. Just a great looking cooler and the screen quality is amazing. It has received a small update. This one now has a single magnetic power connector for the fans, so there's not multiple connectors hanging off the fans. It simplifies the install process and just gives you a neater overall look. So nice little update there to one of my favorite AIOs. And then we have the Panorama SE, a slightly cut down, more affordable version of the model we just looked at. It doesn't have the magnetic fan, so you can see the cables here on this model, but still a really nice, more cost-effective version. We have the black version in one of our test systems back in the office, really love it, but there is also a white version. And so you can rotate the screen, which I think we've shown in some of our B-roll in the past. But anyway, Panorama SE, but we'll go look at some stuff we haven't seen before. Okay, for this segment, I would have got Balin to film it because he is our resident RGB expert and he has played with this software a lot, but he's hurt his neck, so he's moving very robotic-like, so I won't make him do that. It'd be a bit awkward on camera. He's given us the thumbs up. But, so, we have a few things here that I haven't played with. First of all, there's the Canali software, which I'll talk about a bit in a moment. Balin tells me this works very well, very impressive, and I've had a quick demo of it, and I'm still wrapping my head around it. It seems to work very well. So the other thing we have is the Lucius fans, new ARGB fans, I suppose, 120mm. It seems to be that they come in 3 packs. They have like a light bar up the side, and they are extremely customizable. Pretty mind-blowing what you can do. So the fans themselves look good, nice RGB effects, all that sort of stuff you'd expect from an RGB fan. But I think it's really the software that makes it. So we'll move over here to the screen and we'll have a quick look at the software. Now, typically, in my experience with these RGB fans, they look good. They do the rainbow effect and stuff, and you can make them static or whatever. I've got a bit of experience playing with the Corsair IQ stuff. It works reasonably well, but I always get frustrated by the limitations of the software, especially when we're filming videos. You can't necessarily get the effects you want. They seem a bit limited, and the software can be a bit clunky, a bit laggy, a bit slow. But using this Canali software, I found it very quick and very powerful. Balin has a lot more experience with it. He spent hours setting up, using it for our B-roll, and he says it works very well. He's very pleased with it, so I'm really going off his experience here. So I'll just give you guys a quick look at it. There'll be reviews and things you can check out that'll go into detail. It is quite powerful RGB software. I can't believe I'm saying that, but you can create like a new scheme. So it's kind of like a timeline, really. It's kind of like Adobe Premiere for RGB. It's quite crazy. It's like, feels like you're making a video, but you can program each light in the sequence of lights and make it do something. You can really program the effects and create an entire timeline. So you're not just clicking like raindrop or breathing. You can actually make those effects or combine them. It's kind of like a video series of RGB effects. So heaps of colors and things to choose from, and really you're limited by your imagination on this one. You can also create very cool themes and share them with other people in the Canali community. You can download, if someone spends I don't know how much time, but a lot of time customizing to create like the coolest looking effect. You can actually download their profile, load it into your software, and there you go. You've got this amazing looking RGB effect with very little effort. So I'm certain Balin's gonna have a lot of fun and probably spend way too much time tinkering with this, and not just his computer, but also the systems we have for B-roll. So yeah, very impressive software, and yeah, can't wait to have a better look at it. All right, now we have a very unique, very different product here from TRYX. It's simply called the Stage, and that is essentially what it is. Now, I've been reliably informed that people like figurines and they like to put them in their computer cases. This is a growing trend. Of course, I'm up to speed with all of these trends. I like my girls with extremely large rabbit ears. I put them in my computer. I would do it like that, for example, and that is very pleasing to me. So if you like doing that as well, you can now buy the Stage. It has a 4-inch screen. I think it's a 2K screen, so not quite sure what resolution that is, but Balin and I both agree looking at it is very high quality. Now, underneath the screens here, two-sided screen essentially, 4 inches in total dimensions, and the Stage part is a mirror, so it reflects the screen to give you this really cool, well, it is, yeah, three-dimensional look. And yeah, you can put your figures on there, and all right, that one's not going to stand up for me. I don't want to break it. How about that one? Does that look good, Balin? Oh, slid a little bit. But yeah, so that's the Stage. Pretty cool concept, obviously very unique. If it's not for you, there are other ones like, you know, the panorama that we've talked about. I mean, check out the quality of the screen on the panorama. It's pretty impressive. We've sort of made fun of the LCD screen on AIO thing before, because not necessarily my thing, but I can appreciate when it's done well. The quality of these screens is amazing, and they do look very impressive inside the PC case. Balin's loaded up a few different videos and things on them, and I thought that's pretty neat, pretty cool, especially if your PC is on display. So yeah, the Stage will be available in a white and black version, and yeah, I mean, we've got a lot of Marvel superhero type characters that Balin loves for B-roll and stuff, so he'll have fun with it for sure. And you know, my daughter Zoe's probably going to want one now, because I think she likes this sort of stuff. Oh, and look, Balin, if I can direct you this way a little bit, you're into music and all that sort of stuff. You could create a little rock band thing on your Stage. So that's some very, very mini figs. Balin likes it. He's probably going to go for that one. And because high quality LCD screens are in TRYX's DNA, they did want to create an air cooler. But air coolers don't typically lend themselves very well to LCD screens. But of course, they've found a way to make it happen. So there's a black and a white version, pretty much like all the other ones, high quality LCD screen that you can play different effects on, videos, display pictures, whatever it is, whatever your heart desires, you can put on that screen. And yeah, air-cooled, giant tower style cooler. This is an all-white model, so the heatsink fins are white, the heat pipes are white, and the same applies for the black version, so it's basically fully powder-coated, I imagine. So don't know about the performance or anything. And by the way, the Stage, the Turris, these are all products that will be coming to market, so they're not prototypes that we'll never ever see. I've been told these will be coming later in the year, probably an August release for all the products we're showing you here that aren't yet on the market. They're targeting, yeah, August timeframe. So if you want a great big air cooler, hopefully it does perform well. I'm sure there'll be reviews from people who test that sort of stuff, and you'll be able to get more information. And as I just said, LCD screens are in TRYX's DNA, and they do like a curved LCD screen. That's their favorite kind of LCD screen as far as I can tell. Now, we've seen them on the Stage cooler, the classic panorama. We just have a look at the RGB fans, which, you know, you need an LCD screen to use those, so I guess that counts. But they have cases, a few different cases, and this particular model is called the Arcvision. Why the Arcvision? Well, it has a screen, and, you know, that makes sense. So there are two versions, one with the curved LCD. It's basically the screen you get on the panorama coolers. I think it's probably the exact same screen. They've found a way to integrate that into your case. It's pretty neat, pretty cool. It definitely adds something extra to this case, but you can buy it without the screen. I think it's going to be about $120. And of course the feature of this case is the curved glass. So I believe that's a first for TRYX. And that's, you know, the what would you call it, Balin? Like the fish tank type look. Very popular at the moment. So they've gone after that with the Arcvision and then the LCD screen at the bottom. But yeah, this configuration, I think they're aiming for about $230 US. Without the screen, it'll be about $120 US, and there'll be various different panels you can use here for the front of the case to give it a different look. So this is a wood grain. I don't think they're going with this particular shiny one. It's just a prototype here to give examples that there can be different things here that go on the cases to give it a bit of a different look if you haven't ponied up the extra dollars for the LCD screen. And come on, this is the version you want the screen, right? And if you really want to maximize all your curved screen goodness, of course you can have the Arcvision paired with the Panorama or Panorama SE. So look at that, but is that enough LCD screen, Balin, within your case? I think, yeah, Balin agrees. And just lastly, we have the new Flova case. Now this is it's a pre-production, not a prototype. It is something they want to bring to market. And at the moment they're displaying it in a pink color, which I think, you know, Zoe would like, and probably Balin. I'm probably more after the white one, and there is a black version back here as well. Few unique things about this particular case. So first of all, the panel down the bottom here at the front, they are sort of metal grill panels wrapped in a fabric. It does remind me of a lot of the Bluetooth speakers I've seen. So yeah, really unique look that I think would work well, sort of like a home theater PC type aesthetic. But yeah, very unique, and there are a few other unique elements. So one of the concerns people have had with this case when they've been looking at it is airflow. The cloth could be quite restrictive, though I've heard it's not, and airflow does flow through it quite well. But to enhance the case's airflow, while you can have 3 120mm fans here, and I think most people would go with that install, there is I'm not exactly sure what you call this fan, but it looks like something off the back of a combine harvester. I think it's how a lot of air conditioning head units work, the indoor head units. But it's basically a long series of fins in a cylinder, and TRYX say it is quieter and generates more airflow than 3 120mm fans. So it doesn't really matter what you put in the front here. This fan here, it comes with the case. We'll have a look at it in a moment, and it will exhaust a lot of air out of the case. It also comes with a rear fan as well. So yeah, really interesting. And just a correction, sorry, I said exhaust. I of course meant intake, because it is the front of the case. So I think this one's probably upside down actually. It would go like that in the case. So the air's coming out the side here, blowing across the graphics card and into the side of your air cooler. So pretty unique. It's pretty loud on the showroom floor. I cannot hear that thing at all, so I can't really comment. I think they said it was something like 32 decibels, so very quiet. Anyway, very cool, unique aspect of this case, and yeah, available in 3 colors. Should be on the market later in the year. I don't have pricing information or anything like that, but yeah, just I really like how unique the case looks. And oh yeah, I'll actually pull this out to give you guys a better look of it. Apparently the final production version will have like a dust filter here as well, though I imagine this is going to act as a dust filter, and I know there'll be some cleaning concerns and stuff like that from people. I think as long as you're not smoking, so for non-smokers it shouldn't be an issue. You'll just get the usual dust build up here, which if you had a vacuum with like a brush head, that would come off straight away. This sort of material generally very easy and quick and easy to clean. Finally, a big thank you to G.Skill and TRYX for helping to make our Computex trip possible this year. G.Skill offers an amazing range of DDR5 memory with AMD Expo support, allowing you to get the most out of your Ryzen processor, and we've been using their Trident Z5 Neo memory in our test systems for years now, as we rely on it to get the best results. We've also started using TRYX coolers, and I've got to say the Panorama SE 360 Black is one of the best looking AIOs I've ever seen. The quality of the rotatable display is incredible, and as complex as the design appears, it's remarkably quick and easy to install. So for more information, please check the links in the video description. And I'm going to sit back down and relax for a few minutes before we move on to our next booth tour. But thanks for TRYX for having us and showing us all of these new products. And it's great to see so many interesting, unique products that are said to be coming to market. They promised me all of the products we looked at today will be available for purchase. So if you saw something you liked, you should be able to pick that up later in the year. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'm your host, Steve. I'll see you again next time.